Hey everyone, my name is Danielle Perry, the host of Breakthrough Conversations. And again, I want to thank you all for tuning in to all the episodes up until this point and even to these word of encouragement videos. You guys just bless me when you take the time to just tune in and hear what others share about things that have gone on in their lives and then to just listen to me. And be encouraged. At least that's my hope. So again, I just want to thank everyone for tuning into this podcast. And today, the word of encouragement is obedience doesn't always feel good. Nope. Obedience does not always feel good. And the reason why I wanted to share this today is because I was having a conversation with a friend this week. And we were just talking about some things that we're kind of sharing a similar experience with. And I was like, you know what? I've been here before. I worked a job that I didn't like for a long time. But God told me to remain there, right? He told me that I couldn't leave and I had to stay. And that feeling of wanting a new job never left for the entire time that I was there. I'm explaining that, or I'm using that example because sometimes when we're walking in obedience to God and we're asking for his help as far as, God, help me to endure, help me to not feel like this when it comes to this, right? God doesn't always take the feeling away of not wanting to obey, of not wanting to be in a particular situation or say a certain thing or anything that requires obedience. There are just going to be times where it will not feel good. And when we're asking for God's help, sometimes we're thinking that he's going to take the feeling away of it not feeling good, but that's not always the case. The Bible talks about one of the fruit of the Spirit being long suffering. Sometimes we have to suffer a long time before God tells us that the season is up. And so just be encouraged. Don't feel bad for feeling bad. And what I mean by that is sometimes we can focus so much on the fact that we don't feel like doing something, when we know that it's something that God is requiring of us. We focus so much on the fact that we feel bad, and it's like it almost feels like we're not being obedient, but that's not really the case. It's really just the emotion that's kind of overwhelming the active obedience, right? Or overriding the active obedience. So even though it may not feel good, do it anyway. This obedience has great reward, whether it's my reward or someone else's, because that's the other thing. We have to remember that obedience isn't always about us. A lot of times it's not about us. It's for someone else, right? It's about someone else and them being blessed. So yeah, just do what he says. I know that, again, this moment, there's a lot going on, right? And we don't always, I don't always feel like obeying. But I got to do it anyway. And that doesn't mean that I will be perfect. But I'm striving each and every day to become better and to obey more. Know that whatever he's requiring you to do, he's requiring you to do it. And the Bible says that if we love God, we'll obey his commandments, and his commandments are not burdensome, right? And so it's tough, but hang in there and keep obeying, even if it doesn't feel good. So that's the word of encouragement that I have for you today. I hope that it has blessed you. And I want you to tune in next Monday, June 20th, 2022, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for the next episode of Breakthrough Conversations. As you know, it will be featured on Facebook, YouTube, and Spotify, and pretty much anywhere that you can find podcasts these days, So I want to thank you again for tuning in. In the meantime, everybody, have a wonderful day and be blessed.